Welcome to today's reading. We will have a little bit of background noise and hopefully minimal interruptions, but I do have my daughter at home with us today. So today's reading is going to be predominantly based on what are their intentions, and we'll just see what else we get come through, because I do notice I do tend to channel quite a bit, and I do get a lot of messages for you, the audience, the viewer here choosing a pile listening, and sometimes it's not very specific, but we'll just give it a go and see what happens or what comes through anyway, and yeah, see how that turns out. So today we have 3 groups to choose from. We have the first group, or group 1, with the Crow Tarot and what I believe is a hematoid quartz or hematite quartz, and group 2 is the Wildwood Tarot with a type of crystal, I don't know what it's called, could be a rose quartz, just a darker color that I've not seen before, but beautiful nonetheless. And group 3, the Neoteric Feminine Tarot with a lovely light rose quartz there. Okay, so take a little bit of time, pause the video if you need to. You can also meditate as well to help you in making your selection. You just want to choose the pile that you're drawn to the most, whether it's that you're picking based on crystals, the cards, the feeling of the group. Maybe you get a little bit of an inner nudge pointing towards a particular group, even if that's not necessarily the pile that you would think is the most aesthetically pleasing. It's really what you were drawn to the most, or what you feel called to. Okay, so with that, we'll start group 1. So welcome to group 1. If you chose the Crow Tarot and the Hematoid Quartz, then this is your reading for today on what are their intentions. I do have a little bit of background noise with me today. I do also have a child home with me today, so I'm hoping for minimal interruptions, but I can always just cut it out of the video and skip ahead when I get the next sort of piece, next bit of quiet, sorry. But either way, we should still be able to get through this. We'll just see how it goes. So, oh, they're all upside down because I didn't look at the deck before I shuffled. Okay. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Page of Wands, the King of Wands, the Temperance card, and the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so I believe that your person is in this Page of Pentacles energy to begin with. So maybe what they've been focusing on at this point in time has been their material wealth, or, physical health, like the earthly realm and matters, and being in this third dimension here on earth. Working on their abundance and trying to set themselves up for the future, whether that looks like skill building or focusing on career, or just looking after their general well-being. But for this particular pile, I get the feeling that it's a wealth is what they're looking at. Okay, so what have we got here? The Chariot. I'm just hearing action with the Chariot. And that they're wanting to embody this Page of Wands energy. So it's they're in Page of Pentacles, they're taking action, or and then but what they want is to actually embody the Page of Wands energy. So maybe they're trying to set themselves up for the future, or they're trying to sort out their finances or get ahead in some way. Maybe they're saving to buy a house, maybe they're investing in a business, but what they really want to be doing is living in this fiery, passionate, creative energy, where they can be free to follow any inspirations that come their way. Maybe they want to be able to actually pursue a passion with you, and they feel like whatever this, having to focus on work, or the pentacles of the world for them, holds them back a little bit in some way from being that. But it looks like, they recognize that this Page of Wands energy it's something that lights them up, and it's something that they want, and so they're still moving towards it in that direction regardless. Okay. I'm hearing that they'll end up coming through with some sort of romantic offer, but I do wonder if this is not going to happen straight away. It's like you've got to wait for your person to go through, you know, the cycles or the momentum, not cycles, but it's like you've got to wait for them to go through the motions. Like they're already taking action, they know what they want, they know where they want to be, it's just them trying to get there. I am getting something though that it may be hard for these people to stay on track, or to, I don't know, to keep that like vision in mind, because they might be a little bit flighty or a little bit all over the place. Like maybe they are, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's like that they're not necessarily determined, but maybe they just get distracted by everything along the way. And it's like, this is a tarot deck based with crow imagery. Crows or ravens, you know, different types of birds and whatnot, can like to collect shiny things, and I feel like that's what this person does. It's like, oh, this is what I want, and this is where I want to go and get to, but oh look, there's a shiny thing, oh look, there's another shiny thing, this is, anyway, but I believe that they end up getting past that state, and they end up eventually getting to what they actually wanted to do and coming through with some sort of offer for you. You just might not appreciate that there's not an incredible sense of directness coming from your person, or maybe it's because, maybe it's not that they're an indirect communicator, but maybe it takes them a while, so it doesn't feel like you're what they actually want. Like maybe it's that whole thing of like, oh, you know, you're over here and you're seeing this and you're doing that, and even if they've already communicated to you that they do like you, are interested, or you're pretty certain that they are, it's kind of like, what am I waiting for here? Are you actually ever going to come back here and try to pursue this or something? I wonder if your person just like is so happy living life, or just gets caught up in what they're doing, or really carried away with what they're doing or on their journey, that they just sort of, I don't want to say they like put it on the back burner or anything, but they just are trying to do like a lot of things at once, in a way, in a sense. But yeah, anyway, ultimately I feel like they do manage to rein it in and zero in on some of their focus, in a sense where with the King of Wands, it's almost a case that they end up being able to master that side of themselves better than they have in the past. So we're moving on to the Temperance card here, and the Six of Pentacles. And I feel that ultimately, if you and this person end up forming some sort of relationship or connection here, that it will be quite balanced, and that there is a high value placed on reciprocity within this relationship. So I don't think they would ever let you overgive or give too much, that they would always be happy to give back, as, you know, yeah. I don't feel like this person is pulling out a rap sheet and checking every time you pay for dinner and every time they pay for dinner, anything like that. I think it's just more a really balanced reciprocal relationship, and that they are there for you and they do have your back when, you know, times are tough, but you also do the same for them. And I think because they can see that within you, it's why they are so good about it, and it is ultimately what they're looking for. Because, you know, in life, like, it's not always smooth sailing. Sometimes the chips are down and we've got to support each other. So I think that would actually be quite wonderful. So yeah, ultimately I do feel like this person is 100% interested in like romantic relationships and connections. No, it's relationships. If this isn't a relationship, like if you're not in one, but if the person's not necessarily interested in you in a romantic way, I would be surprised. If that's not the case, you would have some sort of friendship where you really spark a liveliness between the pair of yourselves. But for most people, I feel like this is a romantic interest and what their intentions are, just to clarify that in case I hadn't already. So yeah, it's like they're very much currently focused on their material wealth and possessions and setting themselves up for the future financially and everything. They're taking action to get there. What they recognize that they really want to embody or live not in a non-passive way through this like passion and going after what they want and all of that. But it's like maybe they've got so many passions at once, and I don't mean that in a sense of like other romantic interests. I mean that in a sense of maybe they're looking at like the pie of life, and one section is a relationship and one section is like that future building, and one section is like the hobby A and hobby B and hobby C, and it just goes round. And like maybe there's family, and maybe they've got interest in spirituality. I'm not really sure if that's the case. It's just an example I'm using. Maybe they've got interest in motorbikes or something else. Again, just random ones that I'm coming through with. It's not channeled interest as such. But I do feel like they have like a strong creative pursuit, passion or drive here. Although it wouldn't surprise me if they are a little bit spiritual here as well. Okay, so that's all that I'm getting from the tarot for the moment. So we're just going to move on to the oracle cards. For this group, I'll be using the Goddesses and Sirens cards. I think we'll take an Archetype card as well, because it may help you place them in the world if you couldn't tell from any of this like inner world energy that's coming through. Because it can be tricky sometimes, right? If we don't know what the person looks like, or maybe there's a couple potential interests. Yeah. Okay, so we have play and redemption. I want to read from the book on this redemption card. I might just try to read the card itself first, and then I am hearing that this is them taking their time to work through the things that they need to until they're ready to actually step into their play. So I wonder if it's just a case of your person's in the state of like hard work, and they don't really feel like they're actually quite ready for something yet, because they want to have that hard work already, under wraps or finished up, or mostly done, mostly accomplished before they actually step into this environment of like, pursuing anything too much. And I do wonder if that sort of leaves them in a state of, as much as they're putting off the play until later, as in maybe they're putting off romantic interest in relationships until later, maybe in this time they are really just looking at play itself. And I don't think so. Maybe they're not particularly looking for something serious right now at this point in time, but it doesn't mean that they're not interested in you. The only thing is it goes hand in hand with that flightiness. So it's like you're not really sure if they're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or how serious they really are, or maybe how committed they are to a serious relationship at this stage in their life. Maybe a little bit down the track they'll be closer there, and I think it's something they have in their sights and they really do want it, but it's not yet. And so I'm not sure, hopefully that's helpful in some way or answers some sort of question that you have in regards to, I guess, what their intentions necessarily are. They do like you, they definitely want something here, and there's 100% potentiality for something to end up being quite serious. And even, I feel like you wouldn't be in this person's sight or vision if you weren't a potential suitor for the serious part of it later on, because I feel like they don't have time to waste here. They don't have time to burn. But the thing is, right, is that like with time things change, and this is not concrete. This is like potential timelines. So depending how things play out, if not too much changes in between now and then, that would be great. The other side of it is that we don't know how long this timeline is. We don't know how long this is going to take. So this is weird because I'm getting some sort of guesstimate coming through. I'm just hearing 4, but is that 4 months? Is it 4 weeks? Or is it 4 years? And for different people, it will be different things. And it's not really going to help anyone in an immediate situation, right? When we're trying to work out setting our sights and waiting around for a person and all that sort of stuff. I do think that you know, in life we should never really wait around for anything unless it suits us to actually do so. If you actually have absolutely no other interest in anything and you could take or leave the relationship, and you're so, maybe you yourself are so busy and focused on everything else that you can pass 4 months time because you're working, you've got like interests and things that you like to do. Maybe you're a parent, maybe you don't have time to sit around and think about this sort of stuff too much. And then maybe in 4 months time, if they've sorted their, you know, all their stuff out, and then they come back to you and say, hey, like, I do like you, I hope that the offer's still open here. Maybe you didn't put an offer out to this person, but it feels like this energy of interest is mutual, and I feel like both people know this. Maybe it won't be for everybody, but I feel like for most of you, you understand that there is like a mutual interest here of some kind. Yeah. Okay, is there anything else here? Oh yeah, we want an archetype card. Okay. With this redemption card, I do sort of wonder if it's just a case of this person, like, you know, because they are currently in this energy of Page of Pentacles, if maybe they like had some sort of loans or something, or it is like a business thing. I might even just try to read the card really quickly while we're on the topic. Yeah, I'm just hearing they're taking time to sort out their finances. So whether it's a case of they're necessarily in debt or not, yeah, I'm not sure. It's too broad and maybe not for us to know necessarily anyway. But I guess at least we know they're sorting it out. We did just pull out the gossip card. So light attributes awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust, and shadow attributes thrives on the power of passing on private or secretive information, betraying confidences. I am getting a bit of an energy here of this could be both, like on your side and their side. Maybe you both, you know, have people around you where you've like heard certain things, or I wonder if you are both questioning like how serious the potentiality for a commitment would actually be in this situation. But I feel like this person really knows what they want, and they will make a decision on their own regardless of what others actually have to say. So during this time, they'll also be like, you know, they may disappear for a little while, and you think that they've gone off the radar, but they're still keeping an eye on you to see, you know, your consistency over time and what you do, and if you do like move on, or if you do live up to, you know, somebody's like, I don't know, little minor mentions of gossip, whatever they are. Or to be honest, I don't feel like a lot of this gossip is bad. Maybe it's just that you guys are creating a little bit of a hive, or like of energy, or a little bit of a buzz here. Maybe it's something interesting happening from, maybe you both have like solid people around you, not solid people, but people that are pretty steady in their lives, and they don't have a lot going on or a lot of change ever coming up. So maybe the people around you are a little bit like interested to see what's happening here and what could work out. And then, you know, sometimes like a little speculation thrown in there, or sometimes, you know, the people around, maybe some of your friends know each other. Maybe you guys have been friends before. It'd be really interesting to actually see, but I don't feel like, you know, it all exists on a gradient, so, or from one extreme to another. So for some of you, maybe there's like really not that much gossip, and it's more the like it's created an interest, even if there's nothing bad being said. And for others of you, I'm sure there could be much stronger stories being played out here, and maybe people are trying to get in their ear. But I feel like this person doesn't care what anyone else has to say. They know what they want, and they know what they think and how they feel. And ultimately, I feel like when they actually make this decision, or they make it known that that's their decision. Okay, so the King of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this person is not going to worry about what other people have to say. And I feel like once they make up their own mind and their own decision on things, no one's actually going to challenge them on this anyway. I feel like this person may be a little bit of a leader within their own circle, or maybe they're not a leader, but maybe people respect their boundaries, or this person makes their way through the world in a way where people just respect them, even if they're not a leader, enough to leave them alone, or understand that once they've made that call, that's it, like leave it alone, it's up to them, sort of thing. I don't even feel like it would really be an issue. So whatever this gossip is, I would just throw it to the side. I wouldn't even worry about it, unless it's a case of you hearing gossip about them and it's something where you question whether you really should be hanging around or not. I'm not really sure. I guess it depends on what you see, like how well you know this person and what you see playing out in front of you. Because if they, depending on how far down the track they're looking at some sort of serious commitment or time to really settle down more than they have, you know, if it's too far in the distance, maybe they don't want anything serious now, and maybe they do just want to play, and it's like, you know, they do like you and everything, but you know, it might not come across that way, because if you're, like I was saying before, you're a serious potential suitor for them for when they are ready to commit it for something. But if it's too far down the track, like 4 years time, I do wonder if they're just going to like play a little bit here and there along the way until they get to that point closer to the time where they know it's time to start really trying to develop something. Or maybe they'll still want to, like I said, even no matter what they're doing, they're always going to be keeping an eye out on what you're doing. And so I don't think it's a case of, you know, if, I guess it depends on your situation, because like I said, for some it may be 4 years, for some it may be 4 months, and for some it may be 4 weeks, which is not really a lot of time at all. I feel like to get any sort of gauge on this timeline, you would need to talk to them. But at the end of the day, we all have our own responsibility and sovereign decision making and discernment. And, you know, take from this reading what you will. Don't try to make anything fit that doesn't. Overall, it's not bad. It's just, like, I think they have good intentions. It's just that we just don't know how serious they are at this point in time. So just gonna take a moment and see if I can pull anything else through. Before we do that, the crystal. So energetically, it's, you know, it would be good for you to maintain clearing or cleansing your own energy and staying grounded where possible throughout this situation. Because I feel like this, like I said before, this person has long-term interests. So if you can maintain clear of any drama and you can stay grounded within your approach to things, then that's ultimately what this person would be looking for when they're sitting back, keeping an eye on things, even if they don't look like they're paying attention at all, even if they don't look like they're interested. All right, so I'll take a moment, see if there's anything else that I've missed here. Okay, so I don't have anything else for today's reading for Group 1, so we're going to wrap this up. Thank you for all being here with me. I hope that you enjoyed it or got something out of it, or it was helpful in some way, at least resonates. You can always like, comment, subscribe, whatever you would like to do. And I hope you enjoy the day, and I'll see you in another video. Thank you. Okay, welcome Group 2. If you chose the Wildwood Tarot and my unknown could be Rose Quartz, then this is your reading for today. So today's reading is what are their intentions, and I do have a little bit of background noise going on today. I do have a child home with me today, so hopefully we can get through this with minimal interruptions. If you notice there's any like skips or jump ahead, that's all that it is. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm just being called to take a message out of here. Okay, so the message that we have is, I love you to the stars and back. Well, that's a bit cute. Okay, so we've got the 10 of Stones with home, the Sun of Life, and the 3 of Stones with creativity. This is lovely. Like, I don't think we could probably get too much better at this point in time. I wonder if you, if this particular group is already in this relationship because this is what are their intentions, or if this is something coming in for you. I think, you know, whoever's your person that you have in mind, I guess. But I feel like there's a very steady foundation on which your relationship resides, and there is enough abundance around you in a stability, security sense where, you know, needs are being met and you're living a comfortable enough life. Maybe you've got like room for a little bit of extra there as well, where you can sort of spend a little bit more here and there, or you have certain allowances in life that are more comfortable because of your situation, even if you're not 100% or particularly wealthy. Yeah, for some of you it is just a steady foundation. For others of you, I feel like you will be living the good life here together. Okay, and then we have the Sun card. This is your person, is the Sun. I'm hearing they embody happiness, fulfillment, and joy. And so I wonder, yeah, obviously they're saying that your person embodies that, but I think that that's what they are to you as well. I am hearing that this person could be a little bit larger than life, but maybe that's why you like them, especially because when you have a long-term relationship, which is the feeling that I get from whatever this is, they, you know, sometimes things get a little bit dry or boring. Or not even dry or boring, I shouldn't even say that. It's just like we fall into our patterns and days go by, and sometimes it can be a little bit Groundhog Day, and maybe this person's energy or personality can sort of snap you back into the present moment, and maybe you have really good times together and laugh together a lot. That's really lovely. I feel like this person would just almost do anything for you as well, which is even better. I am getting a little bit of a sense with this card though that, so maybe this, like, I think that this person is fantastic and great in like almost every way that a person could be. And with that, maybe they tend to shine really brightly as well. And I don't think they would ever do anything to take away from your shine, but I think that you have to be careful that you don't fall too much into the shadows there. They would never do it intentionally. It's not their goal. They're not inconsiderate of it. They just can't help that they shine so bright. They just can't help that they are this good person, and which is kind of crazy. I don't really get this energy come through very much. So when you come across it and it's like all, I don't know, it's like all the good and right things in life. But I feel like because of who they are, people generally gravitate towards them, and maybe at times this may leave you feeling a little bit like, not left out, but just that you never get to shine, I think. So I think whatever you do, you just need to remind yourself that you don't have to take a backseat or, you know, like anything like that. I'm not really sure why that's coming through. Maybe it's not even a case that that's even a real thing. Maybe you just sometimes feel that way. Maybe you guys are kind of two light people coming together that are both very shiny. So then when one shines, the other's like, oh, like maybe not so used to not being that person. I'm not sure. It will be different for everyone, right? And just take what resonates. Like, don't try to make anything fit that doesn't. Overall, I do feel like there is like a lot of drive and passion here as well. Yeah, it just feels like good times. That's so lovely. If I could wish that for anyone, that's what I would wish for everyone. So. And then the 3 of Stones here with creativity. I feel like you guys just vibe off of each other, and I don't know if bounce off each other is the right word, but maybe you sort of muse together and work together and get along together and have good times together. Maybe you're just like a really good team. Maybe, yeah. But I also feel like you're actually both quite grounded as well. Like, you're quite grounded in your reality, but you keep things light, and you're having a good time. You make a good home together. Things are pretty like steady and stable, but they're fun. And it just works. It just flows. Like whoever gets this, if this resonates, like I would love to know, because it just, like, how good would that be? Okay, so let's see if there's anything else from the tarot here. All right, nothing else for the tarot, so we're going to move on to an oracle card. Okay, so we're going to use the Sacred Rebels deck, which is a lovely gift from a friend. I should let everyone know too that this doesn't have to be a relationship reading, as per se, like a romantic interest. This could just be like friends or community around you as well. But maybe you just have like a good vibe, good tribe, and that's really lovely. Whether it's romantic or not, it's just nice to have people like that around, I think. So the card that we just pulled, we have 18 with spirals of manifestation. I think this is a result of like a lot of work that you have actually done already. For some of you, this will be something that helps you bring this in for yourself, and for some of you it may be something that you need to work on. But I feel for most of you, this is already in the works. Like it's already happening. You've already been doing it. There, I am getting something about finessing it. So yeah, but I'm not sure what that looks like. I'm hoping that it means more to you than it does to me, so that you understand that. And if not, maybe you can try to meditate on what finessing that manifestation would mean or look like. It could just be putting like the fine-tuning points, like, you know, maybe you've manifested a house, for example, and the house has no windows or doors, so maybe the fine-tuning is putting the doors and windows on the house. Okay. So we're going to take an archetype card to see if there's a little bit more information about this person that may help highlight who they are, because this is more inner world stuff, how things sort of play out and how they look or work together. So we come out with the Messiah. The light attribute is serving humanity with humility, and the shadow attribute is exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. I feel like in your eyes, this person to you is a Messiah. Like you just think like the sun, like they radiate the sun. They are the best for you. Like you just, I don't think this person would ever actually do anything wrong, but I just think they, in your eyes, they probably couldn't either. I think that they also embody that really lovely nature of, you know, that they would never misuse or like your trust or anything like that. They would never jeopardize anything here. I'm just going to take a moment to see if I've like missed anything or can pull anything else through here. I am hearing that there is like fertility here and that it is birthing something. So, you know, whether that's children or not, I'm not sure. Whether that's a lovely home, definitely. Whether it's like a creative project together that I guess can help with everything that you're doing. Maybe just work together really well, but maybe you do it in a sense where you actually do work together, whether it's through like a business or something like that as well, I'm not sure, or employment or something. Maybe you like could meet this person through work, but that's not a channeled thing that I'm getting. That's just a potential. I do feel like for some of you, your person could be a little bit spiritual with this Messiah card as well, but it won't be for everyone. It's maybe like a small % of the group. Okay, that's everything that I'm getting for today's reading for group 2. Yeah, hopefully this resonated and it was helpful in some way for what their intentions are. I feel like this person's 100% in it for the long haul. They really want to make you happy. They really want to have good times and just work together to achieve it. And, you know, I don't think a person could really have better intentions. And, you know, back to this message here of I love you to the stars and back. That's beautiful. So hopefully this does come into, you know, hopefully this does all play out for you. If it hasn't already, if you do have a person, I feel like this is what their intentions are. And if you don't have one, when they're like, whoever you're interested in, whoever you're asking about, like I said, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be a friend. Maybe a friend just really wants, like, you know, solid, happy times and working together and getting along. Okay, beautiful reading, guys. Thank you for your time. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in another video. Welcome group 3, if you chose the Neoteric Feminine Tarot and the Rose Quartz, and this is your reading for today. Today's reading is based around what are their intentions, and we will have a little bit of background noise today. We are dealing with a few minor interruptions, but it's nothing that I can't just cut out, so if you see any jumps in the clip, that's what it is. Okay. So we have the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Emperor, the Page of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. What is going on here? I feel like this person has not always been particularly savory, and it's born out of some sort of like unconscious behavioral pattern that they have been carrying around with them for years, or, you know, at least like it seems longer term. And I feel like it's born out of something that's happened to them. Like there was actually some sort of bad situation at some point. Maybe they had a previous relationship where they were cheated on, or maybe there was a relationship where when it ended there was some sort of settlement process, so they feel like they were taken from or stolen from or deceived in some way. Whether it's the case or not, they've been hurt. They've developed some sort of unconscious belief or pattern around this, and it now keeps them feeling quite trapped, and they're learning to break free out of it, but they're also learning to set boundaries at the same time. So I feel like your person is doing work on themselves. What they're learning at the moment with this learning to like break free of it and set boundaries is they're learning to try to not be too heavy hitting. So I think that they realize sometimes when they react to things or say things that maybe they can actually be quite sharp and quite hard hitting, and they're trying to not hit below the belt. And they're, you know, it's that sort of thing where if you've never done something before, you're not always necessarily on point, and it can take a little while to really like narrow in on your target. So it's like maybe the first time they try to set a boundary, they're too light and they don't really actually, you know, maintain or enforce the boundary. And the next time they try to set it, they come down way too hard, like a ton of bricks on the person, because they feel like they've been taken advantage of, or because they're trying to stand up for themselves, but they didn't realize they didn't need to go as hard as they did. They could have been a little bit lighter. So the next time they're a little bit lighter, and the next time they're a little bit stronger and a little bit lighter and stronger, until they eventually sort of get to a point where they're going straight on and they're heading exactly for their target, to where they actually, you know, they get closer and closer every time till they're bang on. So we've got to learn how to do this, and I feel like your person's learning how to do this. And when they learn how to do this, they'll finally step into this Emperor energy that I think you see the potentiality of them to actually have, or that they maybe you see moments of this where they already embody it, and maybe you don't see any of it. Maybe you just see this person that's just, I don't know, maybe they've got a bunch of trauma, or maybe they don't even like look like they've got trauma. This person strikes me as someone, whether they've got trauma or not, doesn't matter. I feel like most people have trauma anyway. But you know, you just look at them and you're like, well, I don't really understand what they're doing, and it looks bad from the outside. And maybe what they have done has actually been bad. No denying that at all. Maybe some of them have actually been acting shady, but maybe it's like they just don't know how to break free of it, or they've told themselves that it's what they've had to do to sort of like, it's a state of being they feel trapped by and they just can't escape from it. But really, it's definitely an inner world thing where they're telling themselves this, and it's not necessarily the case. but I feel like it's part of their journey, is this breaking free of it and the setting boundaries and whatnot. And the sooner they can do that, the better. Up until that point, I feel like this person, whether you're involved or they're interested or not, is not necessarily the point. Their intentions are to try to break free of this pattern. There's no telling how long it's going to take, and I feel like this pattern will consume a lot of their energy and time and a lot of their mental bandwidth. I don't feel like it will leave a lot of emotional availability left over to actually put into anything meaningful. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this is your person and not right now. Maybe it's something that comes into line further down the track, and you know, maybe you can be friends and maybe you can talk a bit here and there, but maybe you don't get too seriously involved with them, or maybe not even too seriously involved with them. I feel like this person, because of how much this has consumed them, has the potential to like hurt people unintentionally. And I don't think that they're a bad person. I think that they're just learning, and they just, you know, sometimes we accidentally hurt people and we have no idea and we don't mean to, and they probably hate themselves more for it afterwards, and they probably would be super sorry and everything. But at the end of the day, you have to know that it's not your responsibility to help them. It is their responsibility to help themselves. And just because they're going through this learning stage in life, you don't actually have to be a casualty along the way, okay? They can go learn on their own. You don't have to be part of that process. It's okay to go do your own thing. And at some point, maybe when they sort themselves out and all of their stuff, and, you know, maybe there's potential for something seriously good later on when they finally step into this Emperor energy. Now, if this person can actually do this, like I said, no idea how long this would take. Like, I mean, for some of you, this could be months. For some of you, it could be years. And as for some, like, I don't know, some people take tens of years to work this sort of stuff out, depending on what life throws your way and who you are. Well, not who you are, but like how things play out, right? I don't think you can count on this, and I don't think that you should be waiting around for it. So if they do manage to, at some point, sort themselves out and step into their Emperor energy, where they've got a better handle on themselves and their boundaries, and they're a bit more fair and just, and they're a little bit more grounded in their approach to things, and they've, to a degree, mastered their own mental and emotional stuff, then it'll get to a stage of they will finally be able to start working on like the pentacles and whatnot of their life. And so the Page of Pentacles, this will be them just starting out. I wonder if your person maybe doesn't have any real career prospects so far, and when they finally get to a safe enough place after sorting themselves out, this is what they're going to be looking towards, is trying to sort their life out. And they'll finally step into an energy where they are trying to grow and nurture things around them, and they're trying to build, and they're trying to work towards things. Sometimes it's those like fragile, careful works over a period of time that can bring us the most abundance. And I think that your person is maybe smart enough to do this and has the patience. And, you know, one of those pentacles could be a relationship, but I still don't feel like it's super fulfilling even once they get there. I feel like your person would be going through almost a state of therapy. So it's like they're working through all of their stuff, and if they can manage to actually stick to it and get to where they need to go, they step into a phase where they're trying to really work on themselves in a different sense, where more in the material realms, to set themselves up to actually do something decent with their lives, to a point where maybe, I don't know if they look at a legacy as per se, but whatever they do, it's they're going to embody like therapeutic qualities, and maybe they really will build something really lovely. Maybe after they get to that point, they can finally start looking at the romantic side of things in their life. Maybe, like, I guess, because this is not particularly or necessarily a romantic reading, right? A romance reading. This could be, like, whoever your person is that you have in mind, for what are their intentions. So maybe this is like a friend that you've been watching and you're not sure about them, or a new person that's come in that you're a little bit skeptical about. Maybe this is a person that you work with. Like, it could be anyone. But essentially here, I just feel like this person doesn't have anything really solid to give, or they don't come from a place where they can give a lot right now. Okay, so that's everything that I have for the tarot. So we're going to use some oracle cards. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab an archetype card, because that may help you place who this person is in the world. Because because this is their intentions, right? So it can be a little bit hard to tell if you don't, if you're not 100% clear on this person, or their intentions don't sound like they match up with what you already know. We may need a little bit more information to help clarify. We've taken an archetype card here, and we have slave with the light attribute of surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, or the shadow attribute of giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear or making your own choices. So I feel like this is in that same energy that this person has been feeling they've been operating out of, as if they don't have a choice in the way that they show up in the world, or the decisions they make, or the things that they do. They believe that they don't have a choice to be another way yet. So they're fighting for it, but they're not there yet. We are going to take one more card. It's from the Into the Lonely Woods Oracle card, Oracle deck. I do think that for this particular person, it may be hard to tell who they are now, but once you get to know them a little bit better, it won't take much at all. For others of you, this would stand out a mile away. You'd know who this is straight away. But I also have to say that in every single one of these cards, this person is a woman. So even if they're not particularly female in gender, I feel like they embody a very strong feminine energy, even if they're not. Okay, we got through here. So we've got, you can't see it. Our shadows are beautiful. The fortunate companion, and to watch over you. I feel like this person has trouble seeing beauty within the shadow parts of themselves, or the things that they don't like about themselves, to where they're not integrating their shadow, and they just don't realize that all of ourselves are beautiful, and all of ourselves are what make us up, and there can be beauty in that. So maybe when they eventually start to see that, it will help them, integrate this. I feel like this person may need to do quite a bit of shadow work simultaneously if they are already a little bit of a spiritual person. And I guess the fortunate companion, I wonder if you've helped this person in some way that you maybe don't realize. So even though maybe that's why this person is showing up for you, because it doesn't look like they have any specific interest towards you. Like, it's not like this, unless I don't get like a specific feeling that this person's like trying to move towards you or away from you, or that anything wrong or bad's necessarily happened here. It's more like, what's the potential for the situation because of their intentions. Their intentions are that they want to do better than they have, and I feel like they're going to try to work at it as hard as they can, but at this point in time, they don't feel like they have control over themselves. And I wonder if you have helped them. I wonder if you've highlighted this for them in some way, whether conscious or not. Yeah, to watch over you. Maybe this person does watch out for you a little bit. I feel like this energy here for this person, it's more about themselves than anyone else. So it's like their intentions of what they're going to do with their life, not necessarily their intentions of like coming through for you. Maybe they do want to come through for you. Maybe like this is, I guess they know that they need to work on themselves to be able to step up to the plate for you. It's just that it may take a lot of time to be able to do that. And like I said before, while they're in the state of, not knowing, like not operating or not realizing that there's more outside of these like beliefs and patterns that they don't believe that they have the power to change it, that you can sometimes get caught in the way of that as well. Okay, so for this group, we're going to take one of these messages Okay. It says, but I love you. And I wonder if this maybe, yeah, so it must be romantic. I'm not sure. Well, this is like, what are their intentions? Yeah. It's like they're trying to work on themselves or sort themselves out, because it's like maybe they know that they can't be all the good things for you right now, or that maybe they know that it's not like a healthy foundation or place to start from or come from, or, you know, act with from for you. And so they're going to do this work on themselves, but they know that they can't do both. They know that they can't actively be in a relationship while they need to focus on themselves, because I feel like they'll just remain getting caught up in those old patterns again and not really working on themselves or putting the effort in that they need to. And I think that they know that. I think that they know that they need to take time out for themselves to correct, like course correct a lot of their issues, so that if they ever get the chance, when they've finally finished it, if you're available again, they can make something work. But the thing is, like I said, we don't know when and if that will actually happen, right? No timelines here are solid. Things can change depending on how life plays out, but this is where they're coming from now. This is what their intentions are for now. They know they need to do better. They know they don't have the emotional availability, and they're just sad that, you know, but I love you. Okay, so touching on the crystal of the reading for group 3 with this message, it was rose quartz, and rose quartz can be a great crystal to work with matters of the heart and, you know, relationships and everything. So it's the perfect crystal for this reading that I've just given. Maybe this is something that you would like to work with during this time to help ease, you know, any of the emotions that you go through with however this plays out. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, don't try to make anything fit that you don't feel isn't for you. And if this whole reading doesn't make sense to you, it just might not be your group, and you may have to go back and have a look and try picking a different group. Or maybe this reading you're not in a vibration to receive at this point in time. Maybe in a week's time or a day or two's time you can come back and try again, and maybe it will make more sense to you, or you'll be able to see it in a different understanding. Yeah, regardless, rose quartz would be a good stone for you to work with in this time to help support you through dealing with however this actually physically manifests or plays out for you. And I'm sorry to hear that this is your person's situation, but I just hope that ultimately you love yourself enough to know that you don't have to be the person to try to save them or take the hits. It's okay to go back and do your own thing and move on. And, you know, maybe if they're in a better place later on, maybe you can do something real with it. Sorry guys, thank you for being here today. I hope that this resonated and was helpful in some way. I hope that you got whatever information that you were looking for. I know that it's not always like nice messages to, not nice messages, but I know that's not always like comfortable particularly to receive messages like this. So for any of you that are having a bit of a hard time with it, I do feel like it would be particularly important for you to ground and protect your energy at this point. And yeah, maybe do a bit of light work with rose quartz. And if nothing else, like if you don't have crystals or you're not really into them, maybe you just be kind to yourself during this time and find ways that you can support yourself throughout your day-to-day life. Okay, thank you everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in another video.